Hello Earthlings. Today I wanted to show you an example of how you can create a bass on the Korg multipoly, and below I'm playing on a circuit tracks, so I can also sequence the bass. So just to let you hear what we will be making today. So yeah, pretty simple bass, but there's some nice sounds in there, I think. So first off, let me go to empty preset here. And I'm gonna start by adding some oscillators to the first layer here. And let's change some to pulse here. On the first and on the last I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna detune the last two oscillators here, increasing the octave by 1. And I'm also gonna slightly offset them, so we get some nice evolving sounds here. And then let's get into the sound levels. So I'm also, because these are an octave higher and we are making a bass, I'm just gonna lower their levels a little bit. So I'm gonna lower the pulse to, let's say, 40 and the extra saw to 70. 60 should be something in between. And let's hear what this sounds like. The volume a little bit. So yeah, there's a lot of aggression in there. Well, we wanted to go for a smooth bass, so I'm gonna lower here the cutoff, and let's lower it to, say, 60. Let's hear it. And now add some resonance. It's at 14.50 here. And what you could also hear is that when you press a note, there's a little fuzz kind of at the beginning. So we're gonna smooth that out by going to the amp envelope here and just add a little bit of attack there, just a very short one, like 0.03, something around that, just to smooth out the note press. Because one thing I noticed on the Korg multipoly is that you often get that fuzz at the beginning, because if you look at the filter and everything here in the envelopes, you always start at 0.001 instead of just 0, like instant up, and I think that's causing the fuzz, but I'm not entirely sure. But if you add a little bit of amp envelope, then you can smooth that out. Alright, let's also add, while we're at the amp envelope, let's remove some sustain and add some decay, so we get a little bit more of a fall off. That already sounds better. Sorry if you hear some weird sounds, by the way. The cat is on my lap and he wants some attention, so yeah. Anyway, that's a pretty good start for the bass already. But as you can hear, the higher notes, they don't sound too well yet. And what I liked in the example that I let you hear earlier is a trick I did by using both filters here. So let me turn on the second one. And we're gonna put them in parallel. You do this by holding Shift and then press the type or parallel here. So now we are running through two filters. And you can, by going here in the filter AB later in a bit, you can switch where the oscillators are being sent. If you are being sent to the first filter or the second one, you can basically choose that. So yeah, on the first the lower filter, we will have the multipoly or monopoly filter, and on the second one for the higher notes, I'm gonna switch it to the minimoog filter, which is a bit more smooth, I think. Let's also add some resonance here. Let's say 14.50 again. And let's also lower it to 60. And for the second filter, we're gonna add some envelope and some key tracking, so we can actually hear the higher notes here. So let's add the envelope to, let's say, 30. There we go. And you can add key tracking by holding shift and then the cutoff or key tracking, as it says below. Let's add 20 here. Alright, so now we have set up the second filter, but we're not using it yet because we haven't assigned the oscillators yet. So what I did there is, again, if you hold shift and then press here this button, you can switch the which filter you are sending it to. So I'm gonna put all four oscillators here to 50%, so it's sending to both of the filters here. So now they're all being sent to both filters, but we don't really want this here. Well, maybe you want it, but what I'd like to do here is I like to add some matrix and assign the filter AB to the key tracking of the B filter. And what this is gonna do is on the lower notes we will use filter A, and on the higher we go, the more we will switch to filter B here. So let's add them to the mod matrix. So press mod and then the plus here to add. Then we hold shift and filter AB. So you can see we have it selected now. And for now I'm just gonna turn a knob here just to have something assigned. Press enter. And then we go to the plus. So we scroll up to the mod knob and we are gonna change that to, by going to generators. And then you can scroll down to the filter key tracking. And let's make it 100%, so it's even though we were only at 50%, we can exaggerate it, so we will switch faster to the higher, or I mean to the filter A or B this way. And we are gonna have to do this for every single oscillator. So again, add random mod knob 100% and switch it to the filter B key tracking. And next one. Oh, not sure what I pressed there. I think I need to add it again. And one more to go. And generator. There we go. So now that we have set up all four oscillators, it should switch between which filter we are using. So let's try it out. So let's, oh, sorry, get this. Come so cocky. Oh. There we go. So there's a little bit too much high, I think. Let's reduce the key tracking a bit, maybe. Say 10 here. Alright, I think that's good enough for now. Oh, wait, actually. That is also, we didn't change the filter envelope here now. So the sustain is was at 100%. So we were getting the full intensity of the envelope on the filter here. So let's set that to 0, add some decay, and let's see what it sounds like now. Alright, that's a bit better already. Let's also add to filter A, just reduce the cutoff a little bit here to 58, and then just add a very small, say 1.5, something like that, to the envelope, just to give it a little bit of character, and add some decay again. Alright, now we're almost done, so let's also add a little bit of reverb, and let's add, let's say, warm room, or yeah, I think warm room is good. Let's say -10, something like that. Alright, that's good. And now let's add some delay. And I'm gonna use a high pass filter here on the delay. So the low notes won't get repeated, but only the higher ones. And then let's add a little bit more feedback here. And a little bit of timbre. So as you can hear, no delay or almost no delay on the lower notes, and on the higher note we have a nice exaggerated delay, so we can have some fun with that when we are starting to sequence it. And now a thing I like to do is to add 2 more layers here, and while it's a bass, I like to add a little bit more high in it, but filter it a lot so it won't be too much. So I'm gonna turn on the second layer here. Let's add 2 oscillators, and let's make the first one shark fin. I'm gonna switch it to the mini Moog filter again, so it's very subtle. And I'm gonna set the filter, let's say 62, no resonance. Let's turn on off the first layer, so we can actually hear the second one. So again, make sure you, when you are setting up the second layer, that you actually have the second layer selected, like I just did. I turned off the first layer, and then you still have it selected even though it's turned off. So make sure you always have the right layer selected. So let's add a little bit more amp again. And let's turn up the octave here by 1. And now I want to add another layer. And the reason I want to do this is if you have separate layers compared to using multiple oscillators. So for example, on the second layer here, I still have 2 oscillators free. But if I add 2 more oscillators here and increase the octave here, they will actually start combining those waves. And if you add another layer here and add the same 2 oscillators there and increase the octave, or do whatever you want really, the layers are addressed pretty much like separate buttons. So that way you can add some separate depths to your sound, like add details, instead of having like one big evolving thing. So you can focus on some small details. So let's add one more with 2 oscillators again. Gonna change this to the shark fin again. Minimoog, and let's make this one. This one is gonna play a little bit higher, so let's add a little bit more cutoff to this one. So let's say 68 here. No resonance again. Add the amp again to something like 0.03 or 4, whatever, something like that. Yeah, let's. All right, and then we also need to increase the octave on these. So yeah, now we have added a little bit more depth to the bass if we turn on the bass layer again. And yeah, if you double press shift to hold it, you can instantly turn these on and off. So as you can hear, there's a bit more detail, but perhaps the let me turn off the shift again. The other layers were still a little bit too loud, so we added a little bit too much high notes there. So let's also reduce the level of the oscillators there. So let's say the layer B, which was 1 octave higher. So we don't mind those too much. So let's set those to 80. And then layer C, which was 2 octaves higher, let's make those, say, volume level 45. And let's listen again. So we have a little bit less highs this time, so it actually stays a bass. So as you saw, I removed layer A here temporarily, just so I can listen to the other 2. And yeah, you can hear that adds just a little bit of high to the lower notes without adjusting the sound too much. And because we don't have any key tracking or envelope on the other 2 layers here, that means on the high we don't really add anything, because we already have on layer A, we have the switching going on between the 2 filters, so we don't need to add more high there. But on the lower notes we add a little bit of smooth high. And let's run to the sequencer again. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you the next time.